I'm Juimar Akiatan.
And I'm Kynne Palaña.
We help students and teachers to identify different delivery modes and instructional approach.
For today's video, you will understand the definition, types, importance, purposes, benefits, and disadvantages and advantages of these different delivery modes and instructional approaches.
But before we start, have you ever been familiar with these different delivery modes and instructional approach?
If no, don't worry.
We will give
Period.
on that absence of knowledge.
First, brainstorming. Brainstorming is a large or small group activity that encourages students to focus on a topic and contribute to the free flow of ideas. The teacher may begin brainstorming session by posing a question or a problem or by introducing the topic. Students can express possible answer, relevant words and ideas. Contributions are accepted without criticism or judgment and usually summarized on a whiteboard by the teacher or a scribe as the ideas are called out. There are different types of brainstorming. First is the reverse brainstorming, a creative problem-solving technique in which the problem is turned around and considered from different points of view to spur new and different solutions. Second, stop and go brainstorming, a problem-solving technique in which a group alternatively engages in brainstorming solution without evaluation for 10 minutes, then engage in a short period of evaluation. The group continues alternating between brainstorming and evaluation. Third, Phillips 66 brainstorming, a problem-solving technique in which a group of 6 people brainstorm for 6 minutes and then the spokesperson for each group presents either the best idea of all ideas to the larger group. And the last one is brainwriting, a problem-solving technique in which participants individually brainstorm ideas and document them, then share them with a group to further push their thinking. By expressing ideas and listening to what others say, students adjust their previous knowledge or understanding, accommodate new information, and increase their levels of awareness. Brainstorming's main purpose are to focus students' attention on a particular topic, generate a quantity of ideas, teach acceptance and respect for individual differences, encourage learners to take risks in sharing their ideas and opinions, demonstrate to students that their knowledge and their language abilities are valued and accepted. Introducing the practice of idea collection prior to the beginning tasks such as writing or solving problems. Provide an opportunity for students to share ideas and expand their existing knowledge by building on each other's contribution.
We have also this modular approach, or a module can be defined as a unit, chapter, topic, or a segment of instruction. It is a standard unit of instructional sections of your course that is self-contained chunk of instruction, and a week is a common module length, but it can be shorter or longer depending upon content and your teaching style. So this modular approach is an emerging trend of educational thinking that shifts the traditional method of instructions to an outcome-based learning paradigm. Modularization is based on the principle of dividing curriculum into small discrete modules or units that are independent, non-sequential, and typically short in duration. So, in today's education, we are working on a distance learning. So this refers to a learning delivery modality where learning takes place between the teacher and the learners who are geographically remote from each other during instruction. So this modality has 3 types, and one of it is the modular distance learning or modular distance learning approach. So it involves individualized instructions that allows learners to use self-learning modules in print or digital format, electronic copy, or whichever is applicable in the context of the learner, and other learning resources like learners' materials, textbooks, activity sheets, study guides and other study materials. Learning access electronic copies of the learning materials on a computer, tablet, PC, or smartphone, CDs, DVDs, USB storage, and other computer-based applications can all be used to deliver learning materials, including offline ebooks. So the teacher takes a responsibility of monitoring the progress of the learners. So the learners may ask assistance from the teacher via email, telephone, text message, instant messaging, or etc. Where possible, the teacher shall do home visits to the learners, reading, remediation, or assistance. Any member of the family or other stakeholders in the community need to serve as the para-teachers. So the advantages of these modular instructions include more choice and self-pacing for students, more variety and flexibility for teachers and staff, and increased adaptability of instructional materials. But there are also some disadvantages, which includes greater self-discipline and self-motivation required for students. It increased preparation, time, and lack of concrete rewards for teachers and staff, and a greater administrative resource needed to track students and operate multiple modules.
Lecture. Lecture is historically documented as one of the oldest forms of teaching and is derived from the French word lecture, which means reading, which is intended to orally pass information about a particular topic to the students. It is also the most criticized of all instruction, as lecturing is considered a one-way form of communication that accomplishes in a passive environment as opposed to an active learning environment. Sadly, most schools still provide this type of introduction, making it normal easily to fall into the habit of using. Lecture is primarily used to introduce new topics, summarizing ideas, or re-emphasizing main points of instruction. Lectures have several advantages in that it is adaptable to small or large groups, can be used for introduction or conclusion, and can be combined with other teaching methods to concrete on an idea or meaning. The most common form of lectures are: first, the illustrated lecture, where the speaker relies on a visual aids to convey an idea to the students. Second, the briefing type of lecture, where the speaker presents the information without any elaborate material to support the ideas. Third, the formal speech, where the purpose is to inform, entertain, or persuade the audience. The last one is the teaching lecture, for which the instructor must plan and deliver a concise oral presentation in order for the student to achieve the desired learning outcomes. Purpose of lecture. Lecture are used to provide students with information or explain ideas that they may be tested on. This may be the case on your course, but another important purpose of lecture in the UK is to give an overview of the topic or issue, to create a starting point for students to read in more detail or specific aspect of that topic or issue.
So next is demonstration. A method demonstration is a teaching method used to communicate an idea with the aid of visuals such as flip charts, posters, PowerPoint, and etc. Demonstration method is a visual approach to examining information, ideas, and processes. It is a teaching method that allows students to see the teachers actively engage as a learner and a model rather than merely telling them what they need to know. So a demonstration is the process of teaching someone how to make or do something in a step-by-step process. As you show how you tell what you are doing, a demonstration always has a finished product. So the key to a good demonstration is for the audience to be able to go home and what you have taught them how to do. So we have different types of demonstration. The first one is the pure demonstration.
purely visual methods of instruction, demonstration with commentary, harmonious blend of visual and verbal modes of instruction. The last is participative demonstration. It allows students to attempt either to replicate all or parts of demonstration. So, teacher demonstrations are important because it provides students with experiences of real events, phenomena, and processes which help them to learn. It raises students' interest and motivation. It enables you to focus students on a particular phenomenon or event such as the STARS test for foods and can be used to develop challenge students' understanding, and it can help students carry out their own practical work more effectively. So, demonstrations have a number of possible purposes. This can be categorized into three broad types. The first one is that to illustrate a phenomenon, concept, law, theory, or processes. Second, to motivate and stimulate, arousing students' curiosity prior to teaching. The third one is to help students articulate and explore their existing ideas.
Project. A project is defined as a series of tasks that must be completed in order to reach a desired outcome. There are different types of project. First, reading or writing project. Information data organizing project. Major investigation projects. Design projects. Problem solving or decision making project. Real world authentic project. The importance of project. It develops the child's ability to work with his or her peers, building teamwork and group skills. It allows the teacher to learn more about the child as a person. It helps the teacher communicate in progressive and meaningful ways with the child or group of children on a range of issues. The benefits of project. Project-based learning not only provides opportunity for students to collaborate or drive their own learning, but it also teaches them skills such as problem solving and helps to develop additional skills integral to their future, such as critical thinking and time management.
So we have also our deductive and inductive learning method. So the first one is the deductive learning. It is more an instructor-centered approach to education. Concept and generalizations are introduced first to the learners, followed by specific examples and activities to support learning. Lessons are generally conducted in lecture form with minimal dialogue between educators and their students. So deductive reasoning works from general to the specific. This is also called a top-down approach. So the deductive reasoning works as follows. Think of a theory about a topic and then narrow it down to specific hypothesis. Narrow down or further it if we would like to collect observation for hypothesis. So when we use deduction, we reason from general principles to specific case, as in applying a mathematical theorem to a particular problem or in citing a law of physics to predict the outcome of an experiment. So we have the advantages of using the deductive approach. First, it can be more effective with students of a higher level. Second, it can be time-saving, or a number of direct practice or applications examples are immediately given. And last, a number of rule aspects, for example, form, can be more simply and clearly explained than elicited from examples. Now, the disadvantage of this approach is that lack of students' involvement and struggle for understanding. Younger learners may not be able to understand the concepts. And last, the explanation is seldom as memorable as other forms of presentation, for example, a demonstration.
Now, in the inductive approach, this method of teaching means that the teacher presents the rule through situations and sentences and thus guided practice. Then, the learner do free practice. After that, the teacher deduces or elicits the rule from the learners themselves by themselves. An inductive approach to teaching language starts with examples and asks learners to find rules. Then it can be compared with the deductive approach that starts by giving learners rules, then example, then practice.
Now, inductive reasoning works the other way. It works from observation, works towards generalization and theories. This is also called a bottom-up approach. Inductive reason starts from specific observation, looks for patterns, regularities, and formulate hypotheses that we could work with, and finally ended up developing general theories or drawing conclusion. So when we use induction, we observe a number of specific instances and from them infer a general principle or law. Inductive reasoning is open-ended and exploratory, especially at the beginning. And on the other hand, deductive reasoning is narrow in nature and is concerned with testing or confirming hypotheses.
Investigatory. Investigatory defined as an approach that requires both the teacher and child to be involved in asking questions that help identify problems and find appropriate solutions, while children are exploring, discovering, and investigating the world around them. They are inevitably involved in problem solving of various kinds. The importance of investigatory is to assist the development of thinking skills and is a means by which children form important learning patterns. It is an approach that requires both the teacher and the child to be involved in asking questions that help identify problems and find appropriate solutions. The purpose of investigatory teaching provides the opportunity for the students to play an active role in their learning process in a student-centered environment. Engage in a variety of technological resources and in the process develop high-level thinking skills.
Team teaching. Team teaching is a group of 2 or more teachers working together to plan, conduct, and evaluate the learning activities for the same group of learners. According to Kynne and Cantor, they define that team teaching is simply as teamwork between the 2 qualified instructors who together make presentation to an audience. So there are types of team teaching. First is interactive team teaching, where 2 faculty members present in front of the class simultaneously. Second, rotational format team teaching, where faculty alternate teaching in the class. This rotational format has a number of variations depending on the subject matter and the number of faculty involved. Next is participant observer team teaching. All participating faculty are present for all the classes, but only one is teaching at a time. Roles that the other teachers could play as participating observers are model learner, observer, panel member, or resource. Next is team coordination. Faculty arrange and integrate a curriculum so as to maximize learning and connection using paired of linked courses and integrated cluster of independent course of freshman and tourist group. Though not necessarily team teaching per se, this curriculum level approach to the interdisciplinary can help to achieve some of the expected gains of team teaching. So the benefits of team teaching is that it boasts many pedagogical and intellectual advantages. It can help create a dynamic and interactive learning environment. It provides instructors with a useful way of modeling thinking across disciplines. And also, it inspires new research, ideas, and intellectual partnership. Specifically, a faculty can learn about teaching, improve their own teaching skills, have opportunities to socialize graduate students into the world of teaching, step out of their comfort zone, have opportunities for creative assignments, become informed and encouraged in the interdisciplinary research, see teaching through the learner's eyes, and avoid the lonely, repetitive, fragmented experience of solo teaching. So students also appear to have benefit from this team thought course. First is it deepens the students' analytical abilities, help to build bridges of understanding across discipline for both faculty and students, build greater curricular coherence for students, create a greater sense of academic community, provide explicit structures for academic and social engagement, and improve student-teachers relationship.
Discussion. Discussion is defined as a variety of forums for open-ended collaborative exchange of ideas among teacher and students or among students. There are different types of discussion. First, small group discussion technique, socialized classroom discussion technique, panel discussion technique. The importance of discussion is to help students process information rather than simply receive it. And the purpose of discussion is furthering students' thinking, learning, problem solving, understanding, or literary appreciation. Reporting. Reporting aims to provide students with information in direct way and uninterrupted manner. The types of reporting are written, and oral or visual. The purpose of reporting is the student tend to assume the responsibility of learning the topics all alone by themselves. Activity method. Activity method is defined as a type of teaching in which students acquire knowledge and understanding by participating in a set of specially designed activities rather than by passively listening to a teacher. There are different types of activity. First is explanatory, constructive, expressional. The importance of activity method is it enhances creative aspect of experience. It gives reality for learning, uses all available resources, provides varied experiences to the students to facilitate the acquisition of knowledge, experiences, skills, and values. The benefits of activity methods are helping students memorize information, encouraging kids to be independent and inquisitive, supporting social development, emphasizing the relevance of educational materials, and encouraging kids to express themselves in different ways. Again, I'm Juimar Akiatan.
And I'm Kynne Palaña. We hope that you learned something about our discussion on the different delivery modes and
Instructional approach.
thank you and goodbye!